打ちつかれたこの鼓動は無力で儚いもの痛みは空よりもうららかに
You always end up having very short streams when Lily is away. Really? Shion, who is taking care of all the stuff around the house. No. Tips today? I still can't tell if Shion and Mion are different people. I don't fucking know. Also, why do they keep showing that lady that disappeared? Also, I realized in chapter 2, we haven't seen Tomitake yet either. What's up with that? Where is Tomitake if he's alive? Hold up, hold up. Okay. Camera placement? Yeah, let me get a water bottle as well. So I'm well hydrated for this yap session. Yo, Goon Master, when you're hopping on Overwatch, no one plays that game. Due to tips you missed yesterday, motherfucker, you're just breaking promise left and right. Oh, true. I did say I was gonna. Yeah, shut up. Okay, hold up. Let me get a drink. Yo, hold up. I'm gonna give you guys a spoopy music in the tips section.
Finally, variety mugger.
We're locked in. What is this? What the hell is this tip?
おいミオンこれ
何よケイちゃん。
I thrust the bento box she gave me yesterday at her face.
昨日差し入れてもらった弁当箱だよごちそうさまうまかったぜ
Why is his butthole noticeable? No, it's not. He legitimately thinks the pillows are like sand. Like he could dig into them or something. You idiot! Tori! It's a bento box you gave me yesterday. Thank you, it was delicious. So they are the same person. Why is she getting flushed? Mion's face quickly flushed bright red. Hey now, you were the one pretending to be Shion when you gave it to me. You're gonna give it away if you get all red like that when you're being Mion. At this rate, she might trip and fall right into her own grave, so I decided to help her
あの
out.
な俺昨日腹を空かせてたらさシオンがわざわざ家まで来て弁当を差し入れてくれたんだよでこれはその弁当箱ちゃんと洗ってあるからな
そうなんだ。シオンは気が利くね。
I was so transparent. Was Mion always this terrible at lying? Her expression was different than usual, but it looked strangely cute. Yeah, listen, I like this route way more than Chapter 1. Fuck Rena. Alright, Mion is the GOAT.
で、どうだった？
ミオンに瓜二つなやつだと思うぞだって双子なんだろ似てて当然だよ
じゃなくて
Mion looked kind of bewildered, like she was waiting for a specific answer. When she said impression, maybe she didn't mean Shion, but the bento.
ああもちろんうまかったぜ
本当に？
Oh, she's getting all...
俺は食い物の感想には嘘はつかないぞ俺がうまかったって言ったら誰が食ったってうまい万人におすすめできる評価だと思っていいぞシオンに実に美味しかったって伝えておいてくれ
伝えておくよきっと喜ぶと思うよ
Mion, hella sus. We're going along with Shion having given it to me, not Mion, aren't we? Yet her laugh, it came from deep down and sounded really happy. I guess she really can laugh nicely enough that just looking at her makes me feel better too. Sarcastic remark made its way onto my tongue, but I swallowed it back. As Mion went to put the bento box in her bag, she noticed a clattering noise.
ケイちゃんなんか入ってるよあれ？はあ
God, she opened it? The thing inside was a little embarrassing, so I wish she hadn't opened it here. Panicking, I hid it with my hands.
なこれはだなうちのお袋がお礼に入れとけって言ったんだ別に俺のセンスじゃないんだからな誤解すんなよ
綺麗飴だ
It was a handful of candies neatly wrapped in paper inside the sparkly clean bento box. When I was cleaning the box out yesterday in the sink, Mom came over and interrogated me, and I fessed up as to who had given me the food. Then she told me that something like this is called for a display of gratitude. I didn't want to because it was embarrassing, so I argued that it would be like me. It wouldn't be like me to do that.
というわけなんだ。まあその
I was so embarrassed it felt like fire might shoot out of my face. Mion laughing the whole thing off like she usually did would be fine, but for some reason she was staring at the candy in the box with fascination.
ありがとう。
Oh shit, she's fallen for us.
俺に言うな。入れたお袋に言ってくれ。
What if Rena gets jealous and kills Mion?
それにミオンが俺を言う必要なんかないんだぞ。それはシオンにあげるものなんだからな。
あ、うん、そうだよね。うん。シオンに伝えておくね。きっとシオンも嬉しがると思うよ。
Mion looking a little downtrodden put the lid back on the box. Seemed like I ended up saying something a little mean at the end. You fucking idiot. Uh-oh.
今日はなんだかみーちゃんほんわかな感じだね。いいことでもあったのかな。
Oh shit, she hit her with the double kana already.
風邪でもひいたんではありませんの？お顔が赤いのはきっと微熱のせいでしたよ。ってリカ、なんで私の頭を撫でますの？さとこもきっとそのうちお風邪をひけるようになりますですよ。
What the fuck? I could totally see that happening though, because Rena was like a little suspicious when we brought up Shion's existence, right? Ivatron with the 53
Give me a kiss, boo,
months.
kiss a fob.
Oh, there you go. Hope you're doing well, man. Oh no, it's a little sus. All right, what's up, Balq? Might have explained this before, but phys ed at our school is really just an exercise in disorder. After some random warm-ups, the rest of the time is spent doing whatever. You're free to cause a ruckus or just
よく
fall
は知
asleep.
らないけど、教育委員会とかに教育指導要項とかあるだろ。何歳ならこれくらいの運動能力はなければいけないみたいなさ。
圭一さんが何を言ってるのか難しくてさっぱりですわよ。先生の授業の進め方のルールみたいなものなの。
What's that laugh?
都会の軟弱な連中にはそういうのは必要だろうけどさ。
Yo, why does remake Satoko just look like a bitch? Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's nothing likable about Satoko. His goofy ass hands.
田舎育ちのうちらが身体能力で劣ると思う？
僕たちは圭一が思ってるよりも運動神経はいいのです。
Bet 1v1 right now. Come to think of it, they might be right. If we all lined up for a race, there was a good chance I'd finish dead last if I didn't start off well. Let's just pray that when a brutal penalty game is at stake, the 100-meter dash is in the club
では
activity.
そういうことで、俺はテレビの見過ぎで実に素敵に眠い。睡眠時間の補給をさせてもらうぜ。空腹絶頂の4次元目。今寝ずにいつ寝るよ。
As I began to sprawl out on the top of a pipe, Mion grabbed me by the collar.
ちっちっち。まさかおとなしく眠らせてもらえると思ってる？
その顔で言われたら、おとなしく寝る方が勇気がいりそうだ。
Good grief. Which means, is it going to start again? No, not another club activity.
このまま井戸端会議でチャイムを待つなんて、熱き血潮のたぎった私たちには無理だよね。部活タイム行ってみよっか。
No!
案の定来やがったな。今日のゲームはなんだ？
Now that this is happening, taking a nap is impossible. Not just that, with this sleep-deprived head of mine, I'm as good as minced meat. I have to get my brain into gear.
レナはそれより今日の罰ゲームは何かなの方が先だと思うな。
レナは分かってるね。今日もとびっきりのを用意してるよ。
She began to announce a cruel penalty game with a grand spinning flourish. But before she could do that,
ごめんなさいです。僕はちょっとやりたいことがありますです。
Ooh, looks like club activities are off. Of all people, it was Rika-chan announcing for her non-participation. Even rare events do eventually occur. Losing her timing, Mion spun like a top as she tumbled to the ground.
あれれれれれれれれ、何どうしたの？今日は調子悪いの？
あ、そうか。みーちゃん、綿流しの練習だよ。
Oh shit, how many days are we away from Watanagashi?
そうですわよ。今度の日曜日ですもの。
Oh, we dead.
リカは猛特訓中なのですわよ。
Yo, it's
最近
coming
は
up.
頑張りすぎてお腕が痛いのです。
そっか。じゃあ仕方ない。
Wait, how many hours are we into this? Chapter 2? We're already 4 hours in. Might be about time to start picking up some sus shit happening.
全員揃わないなら仕方ない。今日は各人のんびりしようかね。
Okay,
ごめ
okay,
んなさい
nice.
なのです。
No club activities.
でも頑張りますですよ。頑張ってね。レナたちも応援してるからね。
A playthrough on YouTube was 18 hours? For what, chapter 2? When Mion announced that today's club activity was cancelled, Rika-chan and Satoko headed off behind the school building. Only I was left alone, completely clueless as to what everybody was talking about.
一体何なんだ？リカちゃんは何か大会前とかで特訓をしてるのか？
They still haven't explained Watanagashi to us.
リカちゃんは綿流しの巫女さんだから奉納の演舞をすることになっててね。
Maybe in this timeline we never met what the fuck is his name again? Tomita? Tomitake, bro, I keep forgetting his fucking name.
その練習なの。
順を追って説明してくれ。まず綿流しってなんだ？次に巫女さんってなんだ？最後に奉納演舞ってなんだ？
あれ？ケイちゃん家には回覧板とか言ってない？書いてなかった？今度の日曜に綿流しのお
Chat, it's
祭
not
りが
male
あるっ
equals
て。
forgotten. I didn't forget Oishi. Huh? Come to think of it, I have a feeling Mom did say something about it during dinner the other day.
綿流しはね、毎年6月の日曜日に神社でやるお祭りなの。とっても賑わうんだよ。
なるほどな。しかし綿流しってのは変わった名称だな。あれか？灯籠流しみたいに何かを供養して川に流すのか？
さすがはケイちゃん。察しがいいね。綿流しはね、名前の通り綿を流すんだよ。
綿ってのはね、お布団や斑点なんかの綿のことなの。だからお布団の供養になるのかな。
Kana?
祭壇にもお布団を積み上げているし。
ご先祖様とか戦没者とか針とか包丁とかの供養ってのは聞いたことあるけど、布団の供養ってのは初耳だな。どんな言われがあるんだ？
Mion tilted her head pensively.
言われなんてほど難しいのはないと思うな。この辺って冬の寒さはかなり厳しいからね。布団とか斑点とかの防寒具を特に大切にしたからじゃないかな。
ああ、つまり冬の間お世話になった布団に感謝しようってわけだ。で、巫女さんが供養をして最後に川に流すわけか。
Yeah, except for Oyashiro-sama's a fucking demon.
それが綿流しってわけだろ。
Mion and Rena indicated that I had the correct answer with a round of
でね
applause.
でね、その供養をする巫女さんの役がリカちゃんなの。
へえ、リカちゃんが巫女なんだ。言われてみればリカちゃんってどことなく神秘的な雰囲気あるよな。
だよね、だよね。リカちゃんの巫女さん姿ってね、はうかわいいんだよ。
It certainly does seem like it would suit her. Yeah, it might be
よう
cute.
やく話が見えてきたぞ。リカちゃんの言う特訓ってのはこの巫女さん役の練習なわけだな。
そういうこと。巫女さんが布団をお祓いする一連のセレモニーを奉納演舞って呼ぶんだけどね。それの練習なんだよ。結構大変なんだな、これが。
巫女さんはね、祭事用の大きな桑を持って演舞をするんだけど、 それがね、リカちゃんにはすっごく重いらしいの。
リカちゃんってちっちゃいもんな。その重いクワってどのくらい重いんだ？
Yeah, that hoe is Rena. She's heavy as fuck.
かなり重いらしいよ。リカちゃんは餅つき用のキネで練習してるくらいだから。
Wait a minute, that's way too heavy. Forget about Rika-chan, that's be even rough for me.
催事用の神聖なクワだからね。間違って落としちゃったら大変らしいし。
まあ年に一度のお勤めだからね。私たちは陰ながら応援するしかないね。大丈夫。去年もちゃんとやり遂げたんだから。
そっか。じゃあさ、せめて応援してやろうぜ。それくらいならいいだろう。
I was rather curious about exactly how she practiced. Mion laughed as she shook her head.
ほっといてあげなよ。ケイちゃんが来たらリカちゃんは可愛くなっちゃうから特訓ができなくなるよ。
I didn't quite understand what Mion
リ
was
カ
saying.
ちゃんはね、努力とかそういうのを人に見せるのが好きじゃないの。ね、そっとしておいてあげて。
Even the always cool and aloof Rika-chan has times when she sweats while giving it her all. Because she was always so well put together, she didn't want people to see an ungainly side of her. It's not like I couldn't understand that
俺にでき
feeling.
るのは成功を祈ることだけってことか。頑張れフルでリカ応援してるから。
Well then, I climbed up onto the pipe and plopped down on my side.
フレーフレーリカちゃん。さらに応援の電波を高めるため、これより瞑想状態に入る。
結局寝るわけか。
Oh shit, I didn't even read that out loud. The lackadaisical noontime ended up giving way to mind-numbing afternoon classes. Rebounding from yesterday's hunger, I ate too much for lunch today, leaving me in a horrible condition.
さすがに食いすぎた。
That's me all the time.
午後の授業は答える。
Psycho bitch.
ケイチくん、今日はなんだかすごい食欲だったもんね。ふむふむ。
基本的にいつも大食いだけどさ、今日はなんか格別だったね。
昨日は俺昼飯抜きだったろ。そのひもじさが染みついちゃってさ、今度は逆にいくら食っても食欲が底なしっていうか。
わかるよわかるよ。
Yo, I think Mion's into us. A little too
しか
much.
しケイちゃんってさ、いつもお弁当きれいに食べるよね。ご飯一粒も残さないっていうか。
食べ物ってのは作ってくれた人に感謝して食べるもんだぜ。残したら苦労して作ってくれた人に失礼だろ。
Hearing that, Mion's eyes momentarily widened in surprise, followed by a cool laugh.
ケイちゃんってさ、ぱっと見ワイルドでいい加減そうなんだけど、結構律儀だよね。
Oh, you like that, Mion?
しつきがいいというか。
あ、うん、それはレナも思うな。
Rena, can you give us the fucking room? Goddamn, get the hint.
ケイチくんって見かけよりずっと優しい人だよ。
Fucking third wheeling motherfucker, you had your route last fucking chapter. Get the fuck out of here. Both of them were probably trying to compliment me, but I had a strange feeling I wasn't being complimented at all.
そんなこ
Why
とないっ
not
て。
both? Because Keiichi's not an unfaithful two-timing bitch, okay?
見かけと中身は大違いってそう言いたいんだよ。
それが褒めてねって言ってんだよ。
こら、
Oh shit. It's Curry
園
Lady.
崎さん、前原くん、授業中ですよ。園崎さんはどこまで進みましたか？ノートを持ってきてください。
Startled, Mion vocalized a rather easy to understand utterance. She was so enthralled in conversation she had stopped working completely.
まあそこそこに。
さっきから全然進んでないじゃないですか。最上級生なんだからもっとしっかりしないといけませんよ。
Yet nobody in this school district is going to college, lady. Alright? That Mion, it looks like she's getting lectured. Poor bastard.
人は見かけによらないっていうことだね。
I'm not being a jackass, Chad. Do you know their school system? They literally don't even have any actual like classes. All right, it's all just fucking like self-study shit. Okay.
むしろ見かけとは逆が誠かもしれないよ。
面白いこと言うじゃねえか。
Responding to Rena's seemingly profound statement, I turned my gaze to where Satoko was happily studying together with
あの
Rika-chan.
生意気盛りのサトコも実は見かけとは逆にすげえ塩らしいってのかよ。
If I went by what Rena literally said, then that would be the case. I could hardly imagine Satoko being meek and gentle like a girl in some fairy
最
tale.
近はあんな感じだけど、ちょっと前までは違ったんだよ。すごい甘えん坊で、いつもさとこちゃんには内緒ね。
It's almost like you guys disappeared her fucking brother.
あのサトコが甘えん坊？
For Satoko to play coy, I think that would have to be some part of some calculated plot. Even if she was to hide behind someone, I wouldn't think it was because she was attached to them. But since it came up, I tried to imagine a gentle and... What the fuck is that word? Coquettish? Satoko? Okay. What the fuck?
おい、サトコ。
New music?
なんですの、お兄様。
Ugh. Satoko smiled cutely and walked towards me. By the way, for every 3 steps forward Satoko took, for some reason I took 3 steps away.
お兄様、なんで逃げますの？
すまん、サトコ。お前が愛想笑いして近づいてくると何かの罠のような気がするんだよ。
ひどいですわ。お兄様の意地悪。
ごめん。別に悪気があったわけじゃないんだ。
The weeping Satoko came closer to me. I'm a sucker for tears. Click, clank. Huh? A bear trap? My leg was being clamped down on by jarred metal teeth.
かかりましたわね。
Bro, how is this happening in his fucking
続
visualization?
けていきますわよ。
Satoko raised her right arm triumphantly and the trap began to trigger one after another. Suddenly the wall sprang forward, throwing me 3 blocks away. And there I was, a giant metal ball covered in spikes hurling towards me. On top of that, in the direction of the ball would knock me was a giant guillotine.
よくわかんないけど、ケイチ君、今すっごく突拍子もない想像してなかった？
いや、別に。全然してないぞ。
嘘だ。トゲ付き鉄球に潰されるって顔してたよ。
Oh my god, she said the fucking lie word. How can my expression convey what I was thinking like
すまん
that?。
塩らしいサトコの想像ってのはかなり無理がある。今度体調がいい時に再トライしてみるよ。
Next, I looked over at Rika-chan, who was working diligently on some kanji drills. In contrast to Satoko, her default state was meek and gentle. If Rika came at me saying "Onisama," I'd hug her tightly. I could get used to that.
ケイチ君よだれ。
あ、ごめん。じゃあリカちゃんはどうだよ。あれも見かけによらないってのかよ。
Saying that out loud, I felt a tinge of doubt. Was Rika-chan really all sweet? Despite her appearances, she really was quite sly. Sweetly, how do you put it? Evading things deftly.
確かにリカちゃんはただ可愛いだけじゃない気がするな。確かに見かけによらないぞ。
I couldn't put exactly what I was imagining into words, but Rena managed to say what I wanted to. She turned to me with an impish look in her eyes, like she was saying, "Ah, you shouldn't say something like
リカ
that."
ちゃんはきっと大きくなったらね、すっごい美人になって男の人を振り回す小悪魔のような女性になるんじゃないかなって思うんだ。 そういうのかっこよくない？
Rena said that lightheartedly, but I, as a man, couldn't laugh at that. The scary part about that was that it felt like it could be true. Noticing my gaze, Rika-chan turned toward me and let loose with an angelic smile. Both Rena and I, feeling as if it was directed toward us personally, had our hearts skip a beat.
かいいね、かいいね。
レナ、話。
Appearances can be deceiving, huh? Well then, what about our dear leader Mion? I stared at her as she tried to weasel her way out of her scolding by the teacher. By Rena's theory, that unrefined, calculating, conniving Mion also had a side of her that belied appearances.
じゃあなんだよ。あのミオンも見かけによらず、実はいいやつだって言いたいのかよ。
みーちゃんはいい人だよ。
あ、まあそりゃそうだけどさ、そういう意味じゃなくて、その。
ケイチくんの言いたい意味。わかるよ。
Catching on that I was struggling to express my feelings as words, Rena smiled even more brightly.
何がだよ。
みーちゃんって不思議でしょ？女の子なんだけど男の子みたいっていうか。
Huh? That's right. Mion was more than aware that she was a girl, but it was exactly as Rena said. If she's a fuda. When Mion livened up the mood, it wasn't as though she felt like a guy or a girl specifically, but a friend of the same gender.
あいつが男だったら、きっと意気投合するだろうな。で、そりゃ今と同じか。
でもね、そんなみーちゃんも本当はすっごく女の子らしいんだよ。
Yeah, it's called Shion.
レナ、お前ミオンにいくらもらったんだよ。
Paid actor.
違うの。もうちゃんとした話をしてるんだよ。
Rena began to pout. Not now. Probably wasn't the right time to joke
みーちゃ
around.
んは部活の部長さんだからみんなのリーダーとして頑張ってるけど、本当はとっても可愛い女の子なんだよ。それ特にケイチくんには忘れてほしくないな。
Rena's gaze focused off into the distance beyond where Mion was. The Mion that I met at Angel Mort was unimaginably different compared to the Mion that I normally knew. Flustered and hesitant from the unfamiliar job, it was a far cry from the brash and confident Mion. Even though she had to hurry to work, she went through all the trouble to bring me food when I was on the brink of starvation. And she did so not as Mion, but as Shion. What exactly was Shion to Mion? Mion, M for man. Shion, she for she. Ah, makes sense. What kind of person was Mion exactly?
多分ケイチくんには想像つかないと思うな。
Stop laughing like that, Rena. Giving us PTSD here. As if to say it was our little secret, Rena held her finger up to her lips as she giggled. Mion, finally freed from the teacher's preaching, returned to her seat, cradling her head to hide her embarrassment.
おじさんはね、人生に必要な勉強は小学校までで十分だと思ってんだよ。
True. Okay, I don't know about that one. Should at least go to high school. Saying that, she plopped down into her seat violently. Mion was actually really feminine, right? I wonder if I can meet Shion again. I wanted to talk to her again. Clang, clang. Principal waved around a bell that served as a school chime. The teacher rushed back to the blackboard and began to list everybody's homework assignments.
今日は宿題が結構出そうだね。
じゃあさ、レナもってことか？
何がかな？
人は見かけによらないって話。
Yes! She acts all cute and nice, but she's a fucking psycho bitch.
レナもってことになるのか？
ケイチくんにはレナのことどう見えるかな？
Oh shit. The Rena Ryugu that I knew sometimes took things too far, but was generally a kind and gentle, ideal girl.
本当に？
That's what he wants us to. She wants us to think. Okay.
だったら嬉しいかな。
She was the opposite of what she seemed. That would make her.
逆なのだとしたら
Just try saying it. I won't be mad. That's what I felt she meant.
レナは
レナは
逆になってもレナだよだろ
This question shouldn't have been so nerve-wracking to answer. Maybe it was because the person in question was staring at me, but even saying that took a strange amount of effort.
ずるいなケイチ君。そんな言い方されちゃったら気になっちゃうよ。はお。
Perhaps unable to endure my silence, Rena's face began to burn red with embarrassment.
レナケイちゃん帰ろ帰ろ
Mion walked over and started getting ready to go home. Whenever school is over, she really does get noticeably more energetic. Oh, we were so close to exposing her fraud ass. It's the same relaxing walk home as always. Digging around my pocket on a whim, I noticed something that should have been there was missing.
どうしたのケイちゃん。
いつも持ってるはずのうちの鍵がないんだよ
Who stole it? It's that Rena bitch.
参ったなどこにやっちゃったかな
Yo, hold up. Nah.
親はいるから今日はいいけど
Nah, it's time to change
まずいな。
all the fucking locks in our house.
それは困るね。忘れてきたの？それとも落としちゃったのかな？
Which one was it? Did I take it with me this morning in the first place? Huh?
ケイちゃん、その鍵の特徴は？
うんキーホルダーがついてる昔夏休みの宿題で作らされたやつで青いオットセイなんだよ
Oh no, she definitely took it because she thought it was cute.
あれ目をつぶった感じでお昼寝してるみたいなやつ。
なんで知ってるんだよそうそうそれだよ
Mion looked away and began to whistle.
さ、おとといケイちゃん、エンジェルモートに食事に行ったでしょ。その晩さ、お店で鍵の落とし物があったんだよ。それにオットセイのキーホルダーがついてた。
How would you know all this if you weren't Shion? As she said that, she suddenly grew flustered and added that Shion had told her about it.
あの時に落としちゃった
Okay,
のか
okay. I think at this point we definitively know Shion and Mion are the same fucking person. All right.
でも見つかってよかったね。お店がきっと預かってくれてるよ。
そうだね。言ってみなよ。シオンの顔、私と同じだからわかるでしょ。
This was a rather unexpected development. Once again, I had no choice but to go and meet with Shion, but I also had to thank her for the bento from yesterday. Besides, taking some time and chatting with this other side of Mion might be interesting. Half jokingly, I began to think about things like this.
そうだなエンジェルモートだっけシオンの店に行って鍵を返してもらってついでにお茶でも飲んで優雅に過ごすってのも悪くないな
なんだか英国紳士みたいだね。ケイちゃんには似合わないかも。
ひょっとしてそのお店かな？
Uh-oh.
みーちゃんの妹の働いてるお店は。
ああなんならレナも一緒に行くから
Uh-oh.
ちょっと残念だけど今日はお父さんと約束があるから。
You fucking bitch. I didn't even know you have parents. They'd really let you run around with a fucking hatchet.
またの機会にするね。
Rena seemed pretty disappointed about having to miss such a great opportunity.
双子だそうだけどそんなにそっくりなのかな？間違えるくらい？
ああそっくりだ外見だけはそっくりだ中身はミオンと違っておしとやかで実に可愛らしいのにな
In response to my teasing, Mion pouted and began to argue with me. I couldn't help but burst out laughing at Mion's little farce. After all, they weren't just identical, they were the same person. After going home, I changed my clothes and dug my bike out of the garage. Just thinking that I would be able to meet Shion again gave me a mysterious feeling. Oh, he's in love. Shion, a name for a different kind of Mion. She was a mysterious and ridiculous person, believing she had fooled everyone like that. I noticed that I was pedaling along quite happily. Could it be that I was looking forward to meeting Shion? I felt a sense of giddy anticipation, like I was headed towards a new friend's house for the first time. What Rena said about Mion actually being really feminine sprang to mind once again. The guilt from spying on another side of Mion, the self-consciousness from being the only one that knew about that side, these feelings mixed together. That was Shion for you, Mion's little twin sister. Until she felt like coming out and admitting she was Mion, it was fine to just call her Shion, right? Mion might be trying to have some fun by acting out a different persona. As I reached the top of the steep hill, the horizon expanded before me. I was almost at the station. Last time I wasn't embarrassed since I was here with Dad, but this time I was alone. I was strangely self-conscious about it. Meet Shion, get my key back, that was all this task was supposed to be. If I dawdled around like this, maybe Shion would find me before she headed in for work. Hey, what are you doing, Keiichi Maebara? You're just here to get your key back, you know? It's not like you're some love-struck schoolboy here to hand over a love letter. The thoughts inside my head were slowly turning into a jumbled mess. I came to the realization that I was downright giddy. That's why, for just a bit, just a tiny little bit, I got a little carried away and did something really stupid. What? Kicked over a parked motorcycle that was blocking the sidewalk. It was in the way, sure, but there was absolutely no need for me to kick it. I definitely think I got too carried away. Thunk, clack, crash. As the three bikes toppled one after another like dominoes, a loud noise they caused snapped me back to my senses. Oh no, he's possessed. It's the Oyashiro-sama. Okay, maybe this isn't a different time loop? Maybe we're just continuing, but it's in the same... But then how would Mion and Rena be alive? I don't fucking understand. Why did Keiichi just do that? Oh shit. The owners of those three bikes were right there. They looked exactly like you'd call thugs up to no good. They lifted their heads up in an imposing manner and yelled angrily in a way I had never heard before. The three of them beelined towards me, and the worn-down heels of their thin-soled shoes slapping noisily against the pavement. I could only stare listlessly as if I were watching some far-off event that didn't concern me at all. By the time I realized it, I had been grabbed by the collar and lifted onto my tippy toes. The three thugs were completely ignoring the rules of grammar, but the way they spoke was enough to make me tremble. Just like that, my composure drained away, my legs buckled, and my throat grew dry enough to crack. I was completely at fault, so there was nothing I could say in my defense. As a result, I was pulled even higher. Goddamn fault. The three of them continued to yell at me. I had no idea what each of them were saying. Getting further enraged, I was only listening while dumbstruck. They grabbed an empty plastic crate from a nearby store and began to smash it repeatedly against the telephone pole. Cracks formed in the crate, plastic shards flying everywhere. They then slammed it full force into the shuttered storefront. Smash! The shutter let out a frighteningly loud noise. Still not satisfied, they flipped over a case of empty cans, scattering its contents all over the place. This was not normal. It was something you saw often on television or in manga, but I never thought seeing it in person would be this terrifying. I began painfully aware that the safety of civilized society was only held up by such a frail concept as morals. My knees clattered together noisily. Static began to pepper my vision. This is what you would call absolute terror. There was nothing I could do to stop this frightening spectacle of violence. I could only pray for help. The fear I felt was just too much. Would somebody help me? My gaze floundered about the surrounding area. I was surrounded by these three hoodlums. No way would there be a passerby brave enough to intervene. Shion! Maybe this is what you call reaping what you sow. If I were a passerby, there would be no doubt that I ignored what was going on. So this was somewhat of a cosmic retribution. Angry yelling loud enough to rattle my eardrums spewed forth right in front of my face. My waning consciousness was forcefully dragged back to the forefront. The thug had cocked back his free hand and twisted his body when suddenly a metallic taste filtered through the back of my throat. A chill ran down my spine like a jolt of electricity. Seeing what was going to happen next, I squeezed my eyes shut as tightly as possible and gripped my teeth.
やかましいよクソボケどもが。
Whoa!
私の目の黒いうちにうせな。
That voice was a short distance away. Still holding me by the collar, the three thugs spun around to look behind them. Oh shit! Oh wait, this is our first time seeing Keiichi as well. Standing there was Shion. Oh bro, she's locked in. I mean Mion. She stood there displaying an imposing stature that I've never seen before. No, it's not. Yes, it is. We've only seen, like, glimpses of him. I don't think we've seen full face. We saw him before on the phone. Yeah, but we didn't see, like, full frontal face. We did? Oh, shit. Maybe I just forgot. Oh, shit. All right. Now, I'm not counting intros. I mean, like, in the actual game, not, like, intros. Rena was watching him while he made the call. Oh, did we? Shit. Now, you can't change the styles on these. She didn't have the same look on her face as she did when we were playing around during club. Those were the eyes that would instill fear in anyone who looked upon them. The eyes of a raptor. My god, she's a dinosaur fan? They were the epitome of terror. At the same time, they were the most reassuring things in the
もう
world.
一度だけ言うよ。ケイちゃん話してとっととうせな。
Mion, without an ounce of fear, laid down her ultimatum. Of course, there was no way those three wouldn't go absolutely berserk. The situation instantly turned explosively dangerous. Stop it, Mion. These guys are like rabid dogs. No amount of bluffing will work.
ミオン、危ないから早く。
I knew what I was saying was pathetic, but I couldn't let Mion get involved in this. No matter how you looked at it, Mion was only bluffing. But did Mion even know the meaning of the word bluff? However, the reason behind everything soon became apparent. They were slowly increasing in number little by little. At first, it was only businessmen on their way home stopping to take a look. Then it was housewives in the middle of shopping taking a gander. Next, what seemed like the owner of some store showed up, and it was pretty clear he wasn't just looking. Around Mion, there was already about 7 people gathered. It felt different than people coming out to support a friend. If I had to say why, it was because the group that gathered was diverse in age and gender. The 3 thugs seemed to slowly realize that there was something strange about the situation. Behind them, at some point, 4 more people of different clothing and ages had gathered. Oh my god, it's the fucking cultists. A girl who looked to be in middle school, a man wearing a bakery apron, an old lady in a house cleaning smock. More and more people of various ages, their gazes comparable to Mion's were of hostility. Bro, it's the fucking village of intimidation. Before I realized it, over 10 people had formed a ring around us. At that moment, 5 elementary schoolers ran in and joined the circle. There were some familiar faces, some of our classmates. Then these people were residents of Hinamizawa? More and more people from Hinamizawa gathered around. In obvious contrast, the residents of Okinomiya were passing by as quickly as possible. The group surrounded us and suddenly swelled to around 20 people. Bro, what the fuck is this? Some hive mind shit? Completely encircled, the faces of the thugs began to show the first signs of panic. Nobody spoke a word, Mion included. That made everything completely unnatural, and depending on which side you were on, completely terrifying. Only the thugs' voices echoed out like they were screaming. Somebody took a step forward, closing the gap between them. As they did, everybody else took a step forward, shrinking the circle. The hoodlums went pale as they were pushed together back to back while still yelling angrily. They were trying to string together vulgarities, but for some reason it sounded like they were crying out for help.
はいはいはいはい。どうしたのかなどうしたのかな
It was sudden. A solidly built officer cut his way through the crowd. At some point, two police cars had arrived. Some passerby had undoubtedly called for them. Several burly officers appeared from inside the second vehicle.
おまわりさん、いいところに来ました。恐喝の現行犯です。捕まえてください。
Extortionist. Mion, returning to her usual self, was nonchalantly pointing out the hoodlums to the police. Of course, the thugs were furious, but now that it had come to this, there was nothing they could do. It was their loss.
分かったからちょっとおいで。
いいから。
The officers handcuffed the thugs and dragged them towards the patrol cars.
んだよ。話せよ。俺らが被害者なんだよ。聞いてんのか、チキショウ。
No matter how much of a ruckus they caused, the officers paid no heed. In the blink of an eye, they were crammed inside the two vehicles. They could still be heard yelling while inside the police cars, but what they were saying was no longer intelligible.
大丈夫ですか?
It's our goat! Oi-san! Oh my god.
お怪我ありませんか?
Okay, so Oishi is alive. It's probably a detective. The man leading the police peered at my face.
別に。
それは不幸中の幸いでした。では、良いお年を。
Portly man, after taking a quick look around, addressed the
市民の皆
crowd.
さんの迅速な通報に感謝します。住民の皆さんの連帯のおかげで、今日も町の平穏が保たれています。
Okay.
素晴らしいことです。
お仕事ご苦労様です。大石刑事殿。
So Shion already knows who Oishi is at this point.
住民を代表して日頃の公務に感謝いたします。一家の刑事がわざわざこんなところまでおいでくださるとは光栄の極みです。
No, Shion knows way too much. The way Shion talked didn't have a very pleasant tone.
偶然ですよ。県警の帰り道に無線連絡が入りましてね。寄り道したわけです。
お仕事頑張ってください。今後のご活躍を切に祈っております。
いえいえ。でも怪我人が出なくて本当に良かったです。
おいさん、オーケーっす。行きましょ
う。ではでは、良いお年を。失礼。道を開けてもらえますかな。
The detective named Oishi, after jovially making pleasantries, lumbered over to the waiting police car. It's quickly set off, disappearing down the city street. It was over so quickly. So quickly I was dumbstruck. I didn't even get to ask the officer what was going on. It was like they came here quickly to disperse the mob before any trouble could start. After making sure the police cars had left, Mion snapped her fingers sharply.
おっしゃ、一丁上がりだね。おととい来やがれっての。
That was the signal. Tension melted away in an instant as everybody began smiling. A middle-aged man helped me up.
大丈夫かい？前原の坊や。今度からは喧嘩は相手を選んでやりな。
別に喧嘩ってわけじゃ。
怪我とかしてない？頭とかぶつけてるならレントゲンを取っておいた方がいいわよ。
These people are fucking... People are sus, bro. An older lady I didn't know the name of was concerned about my injuries.
たまたま駅前で人通りの多い時間だったからこれだけ集まれたけど、次からは気をつけるんだよ。
What do you mean gather? Like did someone put out a fucking gathering call?
最近の町もんは物騒なんだから。はあ、まったく。
I was even warned by the lady in the smock. As Shion finished applauding the dispersing group for their efforts, she strode over to me.
いやいや、ケイちゃんもやるじゃない。でも私も相手を選んだ方がいいと思いますけどね。
サンキューな、ミオン。助かったよ。
Yeah, stop calling her Mion.
だから私、シオン。
She made a troubled expression as she turned her gaze downward, blushing in embarrassment.
お姉に聞いてますよ。オットセイの鍵、あれケイちゃんのですって？
Oh, shut the fuck up.
あ、うん、そうだった。これからお店に行こうとしてたんだった。
Okay, but she really is.
それで浮かれてて、あんな変なのに絡まれちゃってたんですか？
Why is that a scary ass face? Bro, the remake art is just like stinky. Like they make characters look scary when they're not supposed to be scary. Now it was my turn for my face to go red. I didn't want to admit that she was spot on.
ついてなかったよ。でもシオンのおかげで助かった。
お礼はいらないですよ。だからケイちゃんも他の人がいじめられてるのを見つけたらきっと助けてあげてください。
Part of your hive mind?
私たちそういうのをとても大切にするから。
I was well versed in that sense of camaraderie. But the way I was rescued just now, something seemed a little off about that. While I was helped out, it was honestly to an almost disturbing degree.
お店来ますよね。疲れちゃっただろうから一服しません？おごりますよ。
Seems that she caught the glimmer of suspicion in my eyes. Without waiting for my answer, Shion began walking. Okay, so we did see her. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we did maybe see him earlier. I don't know. Oh, shit.
はい、これ。おごりのアイスコーヒー。
After cooling off a bit inside the restaurant, little by little, I realized I was still on edge. There were spots here and there on my body that hurt, probably because I had been so stiff with nervousness. Shion, who had changed into her uniform, brought over 2 glasses of iced coffee. Here you go, iced coffee on the house.
このチケット渡せば無料になりますからね。
My patheticness really knew no bounds, but since she went through the trouble, I might as well take her up on the offer. Even though it had started out as such a lovely day, I had to get carried away and do that stupid thing. Why did you do that though, Keiichi? What compelled you? I had completely ruined it.
でも本当にさっきのは助かったよ。シオンが本当に頼もしく見えた。
私だって怖かったですよ。でも他ならぬケイちゃんのピンチだし、勇気出して頑張りましたってことです。
Well, a little embarrassed by what she just said, Shion made a show of folding her arms boldly.
シオン、本当にありがとうな。
I was thanking Shion. But I really want to thank Mion. Mion, really, thank you.
ほらほら、もう元気出してくださいよ。もしも恩義を感じるなら、今度はケイちゃんが他の誰かのために戦ってくださいね。例えば、私がピンチになったら、きっと助けに来てくださいよ。
ああ、もちろんだ。約束する。
絶対ですからね。
Taking advantage of my words, she seemed happy about my promise.
ピンチになったら、ケイちゃんが助けに来てくれるのか。早くピンチにならないかな。あ、やっと笑ってくれた。
She said as she smiled herself, poking me in the cheek.
元気のないケイちゃんなんて、偽物もいいとこです。ほら、笑って笑って。
くすぐったいってば。やめ。
Okay, Keiichi, you got a goofy ass fucking laugh. You need to stop that or fix it. Thanks to Shion's meddling, I finally cheered up a little. All the muscles in my body that had stiffened because of the incident finally began to relax a little.
元気出たらお腹とか空いてこないです？私お腹空いちゃいましたからホットケーキとか食べたいんですけど、ケイちゃんも食べます？
Your laugh is as goofy? No, his laugh has like too much air in between it. You know, he's like, ah, 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 ah. All right, you gotta be like, you know, like a natural laugh. All right. I wanted to show a little restraint, but restraint really wasn't my thing. That's why I replied about without any.
うまいんだろうな。俺、ホットケーキはかなりうるさいぜ。
安心してください。うちのホットケーキはかなり評判いいですから。
Shion ordered some pancakes from a nearby waitress. An employee ordering from another employee seems kind of
おいお
weird.
い、そういえばシオン、今バイト中じゃないのか？俺とずっと話をして。
おじさんにね、私が不良に絡まれてるところをケイちゃんが助けてくれたって言ったら、ねぎらってあげろって。
Oh, that's some fucking bullshit. I bet she runs this whole operation.
だから店長公認で OK です。
それ事実と正反対だぞ。いいのかな？
全然いいのです。
By the time the pancakes arrived, I swear to God, if Shion turns out to be a psycho bitch, they'll be very sad. We had entered into a relaxed conversation. Oh my God! New art? As the two of us ate pancakes, we livened the mood with some chit-chat. About what was on the TV, celebrities, that kind of thing. This isn't you? Really? Shit. Hobbies, food? Really nothing more than idle chit-chat. Talking together like this, I once again began conscious of Shion being a girl. Hey now, that's funny talk, Keiichi Maebara. Shion and Mion are the same person. If there was anything different between them, it was only whether or not Shion admitted she was Mion. Or Mion admitted that she's Mion. But given that, how come our conversation was this different?
ケイちゃんってお姉のことを女だと思ってないでしょ
う。そんなことはないよ。男だったら容赦なくどつき倒してる。
ケイちゃんとお姉が仲がいいのってそういうノンセクシャルな関係にあるって思うんです。
Non-sexual? Oh, we just got friend-zoned.
それってなかなかできない羨ましい関係ですよ。
言ってる意味がよくわかんないが。
Okay, alright, Shion, then what do we have right now?
まあ確かに女にしとくにはもったいないやつだよな。
あ、ケイちゃん、それ男女差別ですよ。
Hearing the word sexist was a cause for introspection. Well, what was I prejudiced against Mion and Shion for? Mion was Mion. She was the best friend a guy could have, no reservations, and head and shoulders above me when it came to club activities. If I had met her 5 years earlier, my life would have probably been a lot more fun. Of this, I had no doubt. Then what about Shion? She was Mion's little sister, and it hadn't even been 3 days since we met. Her relationship was much more distant, as the only thread we had in common was that I knew her sister. And for Shion, it was the same. I was somebody she met 3 days ago, only because I was a friend of her sister's. The difference between Mion and Shion? Friendliness? Familiarity? Playing around with those unclear thoughts for a while, I had stopped listening to Shion.
例えばですよ。聞いてます？
He is not fucking listening.
なあ、ごめん。聞いてるよ。
例えばですよ。私とお姉が共にピンチで、
Oh boy.
崖にぶら下がってるとします。ケイちゃんはどっちを助けます？どっちか一人だけですよ。
She wasn't saying it to tease me, but had a playful tone behind her voice.
嫌な問題だな。
Fucking microphone.
どっちも助けたいけど、それじゃダメなんだろ？
ダメです。シオンかミオンのどっちかだけです。どっちですか？
If it were Mion, I don't think she'd be in that situation in the first place, as it's something she could easily get out of herself. But what about the normal frail Shion? I guess I'd have no choice. Did she seem frail, motherfucker? Did you see her down there?
お姉じゃないですよね。
If Mion and Shion were different people, I suppose it would come to that. I couldn't confirm or deny it. She should have been smiling, but her gaze was locked firmly to mine.
つまり、そういうことなんですよ。お姉はそのつまり、あれ すみません。なんか自分で言ってて破綻しちゃいました。
She was trying to talk in a lighthearted manner, but I felt that there was something more behind her words. Was Mion trying to tell me something through Shion? Not being able to put a finger on exactly what it was vexing. Shion, to hide her embarrassment, turned the conversation
それより
around.
もさっきのあれ驚きましたか？みんながどんどん集まってきて。
そりゃ驚いたよ。レナやサトコが駆けつけてくれるならともかく、あんなに老若男女がいろいろと集まってくるんだからな。あれ全部ひなみ沢の人なんだろ？
ええ、そうです。ひなみ沢の人はみんな結束してるんですよ。
Okay, but how would they all suddenly appear by this fucking cafe?
一人の敵は全員の敵。日和見なんか誰もしません。結構頼もしい住民性なんですよ。
誰かがいじめられたらみんなで結束してやっつけるわけか。なんだかマフィアとかヤクザみたいな結束だな。
そんなこと言っちゃダメですよ。とてもありがたいことなんですから。ケイちゃんもそれに助けられたんですよ。感謝の気持ちを忘れないように。
I half-heartedly agreed. I knew full well I should be appreciative.
ひなみ沢の人たちって本当に仲が良くて結束してるんだな。
Bro, can they stop saying Hinamizawa? I can't unhear that stupid Keiichi Oishi song.
昔からの伝統かな。ひなみ沢って昔からいろいろ
Same,
と敗
bro.
戦の
That
危機にあるん
song
で
is
す
just
よね。
like it's actually evil. What? Oh, you don't know? Here, let me ruin the word Hinamizawa for you. Is this one? Where is it? Wait, hold up.
の事件を ABC 圭一ですイェイ
大石です。
さあさあ皆さんご一緒に事件の謎に迫りましょう Do you know おやしろ様 Yes ひなみ沢 I kill you you kill me No ひなみ沢
Such a terrible song. Such a terrible song. It's such a terrible song. The word Hinamizawa has been completely ruined for me. I can't listen to that word. I don't know. Play the whole thing? No, I'm good. I'm good. New SR song? It already was SR'd yesterday.
その度に結束して戦って存続を勝ち取ってきたっていう歴史があるんですよ。例えばケイちゃん、ひなみ沢ダム計画って知ってます？
Oh shit. Hinamizawa Dam Project. Let's see. I feel like so we don't learn it from Tomitake this time. We learn it from Shion.
10年くらい前にね、突然ここにダムができてひなみ沢が丸ごと水没するって話になったんですよ。
あ、そんな話親父かなんかに聞いたことがあるような。でもそれって確か中止になったんだろ？
中止にさせたんですよ。みんなで団結して。だからこれは戦って勝ち取った勝利なんです。
That sounded pretty much like the story I heard. The protests intensified to the point where it was featured in newspapers and magazines. As a result, the plan was suspended.
ダムの話そのものは私が生まれる前からあったらしいんです。最初は候補地調査とか砂防のための小さいダムとかそんな程度の話だったんですよ。
But then the cat was let out the bag. If it were completed, it would have been the biggest dam in Japan, not just Hinamizawa, but several villages upstream would have been submerged as well. The protests immediately began. Petitions to cancel or relocate the project were drafted and submitted to the Diet. They even went so far as to go to the Ministry of Construction in Tokyo to hand over a direct appeal to the minister. Previous landowners sued the government, stating there were inconsistencies in their purchase agreement and the transaction should be nullified. Owners of yet unacquired land split their properties, increasing the number of landowners in order to stifle the project.
土地の買収なんていう お金の問題のうちは可愛かったんです。そのうち土地の強制収用をちらつかせるようになりましてね。その頃からです。機動隊とかの暴力行為が目立ち始めたのは。
機動隊って警察だろ？暴力行為なんてするのかよ。
殴りますよ、蹴りますよ。私も殴られたことありますし、この辺だったかな、皮が切れちゃったみたいで血がすごい出ました。
Saying that, Shion indicated her temple by poking at it.
警察とかには
Filing a complaint against the riot police for police brutality would seem kind of strange for some reason. Naturally, they wouldn't pay heed to something like that. You wouldn't be able to establish proof on who exactly hate you, and they would justify their actions by saying you were interfering with
う
police
ちのばっ
duties.
ちゃ烈火のごとく怒り狂いましてね。それからがすごかった。もう全面戦争ですよ。こっちも座り込みで訴えるなんて生っちょろいことなんかしません。ガンガン攻めました。
And killed people. First, in order to call action to the government, they filed a temporary injunction in court. Then, in order to gain public support, they called in prominent scientists to state that Hinamizawa was a valuable nature preserve. They pressured the prefectural and municipal assemblies, saying that the prefectural government or governor ignored his constituents when he approved the project and demanded his resignation. They completely and thoroughly denounced him. Naturally, in Hinamizawa, a ferocious conflict worthy of being called the Damn War began. In order to suppress the police brutality, they coordinated with the network channels and exposed the violence of the riot squad members to the public. On top of that, they put together a special expose themed around the government repressing the citizens and aired it nationally. It worked wonders. Following that, the SWAT teams had their hands cuffed. Day after day, the petition and demonstration continued. Propaganda was used to help garner support. The circle of support gradually expanded outwards from Hinamizawa. Either that bore fruit or the government finally decided against it. It was announced that the dam project was indefinitely suspended just a few years ago.
私たちにできることなら何でもしました。村全部が一丸になって戦ったんです。あの時は必死だったけど、終わった今となってはいい思い出かな。村人たちの連帯感や団結心は今でも消えていないんです。
Shion said that as she focused off into the distance. I felt that those eyes were filled with anguish, but rather a sense of pride.
そういう連帯感っていいよな。なかなかないことだよ。
So nothing about the murder, huh?
世代を超えて地域で団結できるなんて。
私もそう思います。ダム計画は試練だったけど、それを乗り越えて得たものはとても大きいと思いますよ。
Lost Sword Global? Oh, I already know about this game. Yeah, this game isn't really Gooner. It just has like damage. It has damage versions, but which isn't new. This is like, okay, maybe it might be a little Gooner, but this isn't new. Damaged fits have been a thing in gacha since a long time ago. Girls Frontline has it, I think. I'm trying to remember what other games besides Girls Frontline had it, but I know Girls Frontline 1 had it. Yeah, KC had it. I don't think Azure Lane ever had that, but yeah. Did they announce CBT? Oh, okay. Global pre-registration is open, yeah. I'm down to try this game. It looks like one of those autoplay games, though. Oh my god! Wait, you weren't kidding. Wait, what the fuck? What is that? Okay. Alright, what in the fuck? Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Holy fuck. Alright, that's how I fall when I get hit? Oh yeah, me too, true. Alright. The fear I was feeling until just now gradually began to fade. When people began to show up one after another while I was engaged with those thugs, I thought it was frightening. But now I felt from the bottom of my heart that I had been rude. These villagers prepared to defend their homeland to the death, the sense of solidarity that fostered. It might seem impudent to say this, but I was a little jealous. If I had been in Hinamizawa when the protest against the dam was going on, I might have been able to share in that sense of
ケイ
solidarity.
ちゃんは反対運動の時ひなみ沢にいなかったから村人たちの連帯感を実感できないかもしれないけどみんなにはあるのしっかりとそれはたとえ引っ越してきたばかりのケイちゃんに対してもね
Couldn't have been more right. So many people got together to help me out when I just moved here, even though they were strangers whose names I didn't even know. A hot feeling began welling up inside me. When I lived in the city, I didn't even know my own neighbors. I thought that was natural. But here, that was an absurd and pathetic thing. Even though I thought of them as strangers, all the other villagers viewed me as a comrade. Happiness and warmth. I was acutely aware of those feelings as they gradually welled up inside me.
園崎さん店長がホール入ってほしいそうです
A more senior waitress waved her hand and called out to Shion. It seemed like it was time for work.
はい今入りますすみませんもう仕事しないとまずいみたいです
いいよいいよ付き合ってくれてありがとな楽しかったよ
帰っちゃいます
まあな飯の時間には戻らないとおふくろがうるさいし
Seemed that Shion wanted to say something, but she swallowed her words. Like we hadn't talked enough, that kind of feeling. Looking at that expression, I regretted saying something that had disappointed Mion like that. I was about to say that I could stay for a little bit longer when Shion got up from her
はい
seat.
これこのチケットで払えばホットケーキ代も大丈夫ですから
How about my key? Saying that, she showed me a coupon booklet as she tore out a few sheets and handed them to me.
便利でしょお給料の他にもらえるボーナスチケットなんですよ
いいよホットケーキ代くらい払えるよ
おやおや遠慮するなんてケイちゃんらしくないですよ私がお姉だったら喜んでおごられるくせに
She said as she laughed, gently stopping me from opening my wallet. Being told so with such an encouraging smile really resounded with me.
園崎さんすみませんレジ入ってくださいはい今すぐ
Later, today was fun. Saying that, Shion smiled one more time at
なあ
me.
ミオン今日は本当にありがとうなこの恩は忘れないよ
Keiichi, I swear to God, one day, she keep calling her fucking Mion at work, she's gonna fucking kill you.
そう思うならきっと返してください
Wait, she didn't correct us.
楽しみにしてますから
After I said it, I realized I mistakenly called her Mion. I didn't know if she realized it or not. Lazing around and watching television after dinner was part of my daily routine. It might seem like a waste at first glance, but you could say it was an important time when I was able to accrue knowledge of everything from politics to economics to various trivia. After dinner was valuable time well spent while the brain was at its most supplied with nutrients.
バカバカ東京タワーの方が高いに決まってるだろ
Today I tested my knowledge of trivia by watching my weekly quiz show. Sitting in front of the television, I was able to get a lot of answers right. But if I were actually up on stage, I'd probably fail miserably. Oh shit, telephone.
ケイチ園崎さんから電話よ
はいよ園崎ミオンか
It was a little late for her to be calling. I had a bad feeling about this. I had a hunch it was something to do with the club activities. She's probably going to inform me about what we were doing tomorrow. This was me and we were talking about. She might even go as far as to say we're doing club activities right now, so hurry up and come over. By the way, it was 8 p.m.
もしもし今から部活の野戦ってのは却下だぞ
じゃなくてその
It was Mion, but it was very un-Mion-like way of talking. Huh? Could it be?
ごめんひょっとしてミオンじゃなくてシオンか
そうですどうもこんばんは夜分遅くにすみません
Mion, I mean, Shion, oh, I'm doing it too. Shion, if you like us that much, just, come on. For Mion, this would have been an ill-fittingly polite way of talking. But since it was Shion, it was natural. Even though they were both the same person. With a dry smile, I enjoyed that mysterious feeling.
いや別にいいよそれより何の用だい
ケイちゃんは
ケーキとかデザートとか甘いものは好きですか？
There was no way I hated them. I'm an unabashed glutton.
ならよかったです。実はですね、夏の新デザートコンテストってのがありまして。
Looks like they have a new dessert menu every season. So they were hiring taste testers for potential
エンジェル
desserts.
モートのデザートはかなり評判いいんですよ。モニターの募集もかなり倍率高いんです。それで担当直入な話、じゃ
じゃーんと言われても見えないからわからないけど、ひょっとして
ーん、そうです。そのモニターチケットがここにあるってわけです。もしも甘いものが嫌いじゃないならいかがですか？
Oh, what? Am I gonna get the ticket from Mion tomorrow at
いかが
school?
ですかって、つまりなんだよ。そのチケットで俺が新デザートを食い放題と、そういうわけなのか？
They say to beware of honeypots, but this is sweeter than any pot of honey. All you can eat free desserts? No
OK なら
way.
モニター当選者の末番に名前を書いておきますね。明日お店に来たら係の者に名前を言ってください。
You want me to go to the restaurant again tomorrow?
それで万事 OK ですから。
万事 OK って、それで食べ放題なのか？無料なのか？
ええ、無料です。結構ありますから、お腹を空かせてくることをおすすめします。
This is such a delectable opportunity, it was almost scary. This is really Shion, right? It wasn't Mion posing as Shion in order to bait me into a trap, was it? What am I saying? They're the
は
same
い、
person.
はい。ケイちゃんの考えてることは分かってますよ。こんな美味しい話があるわけないって思ってるんでしょ？
Yup.
ギク。いや、そんなことは全然。
お姉から聞いてますけど、つくづく嘘のつけない人なんですね。私、そういうの嫌いじゃないです。
Shion laughed with a voice that sounded a lot like how Mion would laugh.
下心ってわけじゃないんですけど、実は私、明日はちょっとバイトしたらすぐに終わりなんです。もしもご迷惑じゃなかったら、その後ちょっとご一緒してもらってもいいかなって思いまして。
明日のバイトはすぐ
Yo,
終わっ
this
ちゃうん
route
だ。
is way better than Rena. Rena fucking useless ass motherfucker. We didn't do shit.
はい。だから、ケイちゃんがデザート食べながらのんびりしてるうちに終わっちゃうんです。
まあ、俺も特に用事はないし、多少付き合うくらいなら構わないよ。
別にどこかに行くわけでもないです。夕涼みしながらお散歩でもできたらなって思ってるだけですから。
There was no reason for me to refuse. Out of courtesy, I might as well take her up on her offer.
そういえば、ケイちゃんと私ってなんだか毎日会ってますよね。
Uh-oh.
言われてみればそうだな。
でも OK してもらえたおかげで、また明日も会える口実を作ることができました。
Huh? What was Mion saying?
ケイちゃん、なんだか声が裏返ってます。どうしたんでしょうね。
It wasn't a video phone, but she could tell I was beet
じ
red.
ゃあ明日きっと来てくださいね。それじゃあこれで失礼します。
あ、おやすみ。
Shion finished with what she had called to say, ended the conversation without any chit-chat. When I returned to the living room after hanging up the phone, the TV was already off and my mom was sleeping in the rocking chair. Not feeling like turning the TV back on, I went back upstairs and returned to my room.
俺、シオンに世話になってばかりだよな。
She brought me a bento, saved me when I got involved with those thugs. She was supposed to be a different person so I could thank Mion at school. Come to think of it, she'd probably just say she'll pass it on to her sister. I have to thank Shion directly. Tomorrow, I'll have to repay her somehow. Yeah, maybe Shion is now stalking us instead of Rena was stalking us. Then this has to be an alternative timeline, right? This can't be any other thing. It has to be a alternate timeline. Yeah. Alright, chat. Well, today we only have time for one. I gotta do something after stream, unfortunately. Now, listen, obviously I want to do more, but I got something I gotta do and check up on. Tomorrow, we got Hyacinth polls. I'll be replying to all the viewer polls tonight. So if you don't get a reply, just bump it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Really?
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Listen, I got a little stuff, right? A little personal stuff in the background right now. So it should be all good after tonight. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out. Sky Fenor with the 1 year. Welcome back.
Skip
I'll see you guys-
Hyacinth pulls and go to Higurashi tomorrow, really.
No, we're gonna play Higurashi tomorrow after HSR. 100%. All right, like trust me, we will play Higurashi tomorrow. Just because we got the HSR sponsor don't mean nothing. All right, motherfuckers. So all right, well, yeah, I'm gonna just wrap up here. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye bye. How about a Higurashi during maintenance? Ain't no. Nah, maintenance is usually like react to ender or do other gacha rotations. Anyways, bye bye.